Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with Francisco.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome.
Alrighty. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend and that you, I don't know, enjoyed it. We certainly were working all weekend. We were working on a lot of cool and new stuff for you that is coming in the next few weeks, next few weeks, next month. So we're really excited. And yeah, let us know where you're joining from. Let us know if you are a parent or a student. And if you're a parent, what grade is your student in? If you are a student, what grade are you in? Alrighty, let's make sure that we are live on Instagram. It seems like we are now, and let's check on TikTok to make sure that we are live and you can all see us for this live stream where Francisco and I will be sharing everything that he and I did while we were in high school to get accepted into colleges, our respective colleges, with full ride scholarships. So yeah, it's going to be very insightful. At the end, we're going to do that trivia segment again, which we did last week for the first time, and we did it in our Spanish live stream as well. And it was pretty popular. People were participating. You win the knowledge of, if you get it right, knowing that you are right, and if you are wrong, well, you win some knowledge because you get to know the answer of the questions.
And you get the knowledge of knowing that you got it wrong. So that's that as well. But as Laura mentioned, today we're going to be talking about how we got into our respective colleges and some of the main components that led to the financial aid and scholarship aspect of our college experience. Again, Laura went to school in New York. I went to school in North Carolina. Speaking of our weekend, we got to see them play. They were down here in Miami playing against the Canes. Got the win before starting off Super Bowl Sunday because the game was a Saturday. So that was a fun little thing about our weekend. But other than that, yeah, there was a lot of work preparing the content that we'll be sharing with you all and obviously working with our students inside Best College Aid, something that we're also going to talk about at the end if people are interested in after this live stream learning more about our full paid program. We're certainly going to talk about that at the end. But why don't we? I see that we're live on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube and Facebook. Why don't we get started with today's topic, Laura?
Alrighty, so today we are talking about how Francisco and I, what we did, the three main components of our high school journey that led us to win full ride scholarships. Francisco, like he said, UNC. I went to Marist College, which is a private school, like many private schools that are amazing. They can be expensive, but a lot of these schools, what a lot of people don't know is that private universities, private colleges can also be quite generous if you look for the right one. And we do teach that inside of Best College Aid. That's a strategy that I used because I didn't want to go to, for example, Francisco, he went to a huge school, UNC, and he knew that he wanted that experience. I knew that I maybe wanted like a medium to smaller school, and my school was definitely on the medium smaller side. And it was a very beautiful school in upstate New York. Just lovely, lovely. And yeah, we will be sharing the three most important things that we did while we were in high school. And the first thing that both Francisco and I did, and even our brother David and Vidal, we all did it because since we are all back to back, Vidal it was funny when I was a freshman, he was a junior, and then David was a sophomore, I was a freshman, and Francisco was an 8th grade. So we are all back to back. And every time that we went through a year, when Vidal graduated from high school, David got that knowledge, that information, that insider tip from him. And then when David was learning different things, because we all learned things together, he kind of like gave us guidance, Francisco and I, because we were after him. And then by the time that I, had graduated and Francisco was going to be a senior in high school, he had all the pieces of the puzzle together because not only did we work together as a family, but he had the advantage of not only getting to the US as in middle school and going through the whole process, but also having 3 siblings before him to know the ins and outs and take advantage of all the opportunities. So yeah, the first tip and the thing that we all did was taking college level courses, and honors courses as well. Honestly, my freshman year of high school, since we had just recently had gotten to the United States because we did move here from Mexico. I did take regular classes and a couple of honors classes, but by the time that I was a sophomore in high school, I was only taking honors classes and college level courses, AP courses. So this is something that, of course, it was not just taking the classes, getting good grades in these courses, and also passing the end of the year exams, that did help me maximize my odds of getting college credits, which I did go to college with college credits. Not as much as you, Fran. You did get a lot of college credits because you did take a lot more AP classes than I did.
Yeah, I took 12 AP classes in high school. And something I see, Sean Liu is saying, bro, I didn't even want to go to I didn't even want to know scholarships. I'm just trying to get in for real. Well, the good thing about this tip is that it's not just something that's going to help you on the scholarship aspect of it, because as we've mentioned in previous live streams, taking advanced level courses or regular course load is going to be important for merit-based awards. But a lot of schools will look at the competitiveness or the rigor of the course load taken. So you're killing two birds with one stone if you go ahead and take those advanced level courses, because then you are not only making yourself a more competitive candidate for some schools, especially those that prioritize, the rigor of the course load, but also you are putting yourself in a position in which you are becoming eligible to merit-based awards. And those merit-based awards can be typically found at the institutional level with, presidential awards or awards for students that took a certain amount of AP classes, or with private scholarships that might have that criteria of having taken advanced level courses. All right. So again, it is in your best interest to go ahead and do that. I know in my particular experience, I graduated, and out of the 12 classes that I took, college level classes, 11 of them transferred for at least couple of credits. So I believe I started college out of the 120 credits that I needed. I was down to like 34, ended up being the final translation after they took into consideration the scores on those exams. So I was able to double major, and I was able to do data analysis and business and business. So, and now we have Best College Aid, which we started right after or during college. So it worked out that way, but I wouldn't have been able to take in a lot of the classes that are relevant to what I do now if I had not been able to knock out those credits right at the beginning. So again, it is in your best interest to go ahead and knock that out of the park. And then the next tip, if we want to go back to exclusively talking about scholarships, but not really, because this can also help with admissions, but for the sake of scholarships, I want to focus again on another merit-based award or another reason in which you can accumulate merit. Because when we think about scholarships, as we've talked about extensively, Laura and I in other live streams, there are two reasons why you could get money. You can get money for your academic merit, or for merit, or you can get money for your financial need. Now, if we go to merit, it's not just academic. There's also extracurricular merit. There is merit based on sports, based on theater, music, and all these different components of someone's college experience that you could get scholarships for. So with extracurriculars, so tangibly speaking, the second tip is to go ahead and explore as many extracurriculars as possible. Why? Because there is a wide array of entities and a wide array of activities that could land you merit-based awards, whether you want to be a college athlete, because that is the simplest way to think about it. If you're a college athlete, you could be recruited, you could get a scholarship, boom, there is your athletic merit resulting in a scholarship. However, it's not just limited to sports. Laura is going to talk about in a second about her experience getting extracurricular scholarships. I know my brother David did the same thing. So, Laura, do you want to elaborate a little bit more on how merit and extracurriculars play a role in getting money for college?
Of course, yes. Extracurricular is something that all my siblings and I partook in. We were very involved in high school, and it was not only about just taking or being involved in a bunch of clubs or a bunch of sports. What specifically helped Mami and Francisco and David was that we found the one thing, and we've seen it time and time again with our clients inside of Best College Aid. We found the one activity that we not only we were good at, but also we were passionate about, which is more important than being good at something. It's having that passion, having that interest. For me, it was theater. Francisco, he was in the swim team, but he was also a leader because leadership positions can also be a big extracurricular, and there's a lot of opportunities in the leadership space. Francisco was a class president. Was it June? 4 years or 3 years?
3 out of the 4.
3 out of the 4 years. So sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school, he got to do a speech at graduation. He was in charge of organizing a lot of events for his class. He organized prom. He organized food drives, all those things. I was very involved. I did theater. That was my extracurricular activity, but within my activities I was also very involved, and I did have leadership positions. I was the president of the National Honor Society, and Francisco, he was also in NHS. So yes, it was about being involved, but a lot of the important things and the things that ultimately colleges care about is what you do with those activities. And my activity, the one thing that I did that was kind of like my main extracurricular, was musical theater. And I did manage to get a theater scholarship. I auditioned at my school and I got a $2,000 per year scholarship. That was basically just another little package of money added to my financial aid award. So, that theater scholarship mixed with my merit scholarships because of all the AP classes that I took and the good grades that I got, mixed with my need-based scholarship that my school also gave me, my institutional scholarship that Marist gave me due to my good, my financial need. All those things mixed together were super, super helpful and ultimately helped me accumulate a bunch of financial aid and scholarships and go to college with a full ride scholarship. So again, extracurricular activities, super important, can make a huge difference. And it's not just about being involved in everything. It's about finding the right thing. For David, Francisco, it was leadership for David. We talked about it earlier in our Spanish live stream. It was sports, specifically swimming. He swam not only in high school since we were little, and he was in this a private swim team outside of school, and then he was also part of this high school swim team. He got recruited and got an $8,000 per year scholarship to swim in college. So extracurriculars, super important. And, I guess the key is to try to find something that you can also continue to do in high school, because it was swimming. It was theater for myself that I continued to do because that was part of the deal. The scholarship program that I won, which was an institutional scholarship, you had to minor in theater. So my major was something completely different. I majored in media studies, but I got a theater scholarship, and it was kind of like I was a student athlete, because I was getting paid to be part of the theater club. And, I had to stay and participate in the productions for me to get this money. So I was not an athlete, but they did treat us like athletes, which was really cool. But
right. Yeah. And just to finish up on this point, when it comes to extracurriculars and merit overall, is that we've been extensively talking about the way that these activities can end up landing you scholarships, but in a institutional level. So the university gives you a scholarship for being a college athlete, or for lower situation for being a someone in the theater club. But there are also, again, private entities, and what we teach our students inside Best College Aid is to also leverage these extracurriculars and use them as qualifiers for private scholarships, because the more qualifiers that you have to become eligible for a private scholarship, the less competition there will be because they don't have those qualifiers. So you eliminate more and more of the population, the more specific you can get with private scholarships. For example, again, as Laura mentioned, I got a scholarship from Comcast for being a leader with my extracurricular activities. There are private scholarships that are based on volunteer hours. So basically, you just want to treat this as an accumulation of credits, of merit that then you can use to become eligible for scholarships, whether it's at the institutional level, at the private level, or even though we're not talking about this right now, there are even state scholarships that have different types of merit, but are not extracurricular. They're more so academic. But again, that's the way that we teach our students at Best College Aid to think about scholarships, right? So with that being said, I do want to move on to one of the most important topics, the third tip for scholarships on the road to college, and that is the role of the parent. Because a lot of people, and I've said this before, there's a topic of debate that there are different schools of thought. Some parents will say, you know what, paying for your education is 100% the student's responsibility. Might help them with the basic needs, maybe with their food, but that's it. Or maybe I'm going to give them a little bit of money and that's it. And there are other parents that have the school of thought of, whatever I can contribute or however much I can contribute, that's what I'm going to provide for them. And whether that is tens of thousands of dollars or a couple $100s, that's that, right? So I'm not here, and we've done and said this before, we're not here to debate what is the right school of thought, what parent is right, what parent is wrong, whether the students should pay for it themselves, whether they should work with their parents to pay for it together, taking out loans. Again, that is completely the parents' prerogative because, again, there are extraneous circumstances that might affect every family. But what is not up for debate and what is not really a question is that the parents' finances will affect the student, period. The parents saying that it is 100% on the student to get scholarships and to finance college without having a degree of acknowledgement or awareness that it is their financial standing and their tax returns that are going to be used to make a lot of these decisions would be unrealistic, right? You have to be aware as a parent that your finances and your current situation will affect your child, regardless of how much merit they have. The financial need aspect of it will be based on that. So you also, as a parent, have a responsibility to help them with the financial forms that are required to complete and to become eligible for a lot of these need-based awards, right? A lot of 18-year-olds, a lot of 17-year-olds who are, that's the age of seniors when they're going through this process, might have never seen a tax return in their lives. And all of a sudden, they're being required by the federal government and by the CSS profile, the College Board, the institutions themselves, to submit these documents, to gather them, to fill them out. There are complexities within the form itself. We've seen it this year alone. So for a parent to just kind of disassociate and say, figure it out on your own, it's a little unfair to the student who's never seen these forms. And again, whether or not after looking at the FAFSA and after the CSS profile and after the institution makes those decisions and the federal government makes those decisions as far as this is your eligibility for the Pell Grant, this is your eligibility for these presidential institutional scholarship or these need-based awards or whatever the case might be, that is a completely different story that then you can talk as a family and see how you want to break that down. But the process to get the students there should be a joint effort for the students to not fill out anything wrong, for them to not miss a deadline, miscalculate something, because again, it would be unrealistic. College can be a $200,000 decision. It shouldn't be. And if you're following the steps, if you tune in and if you pay close attention to what we're teaching and are members inside Best College Aid, certainly don't pay anywhere near close to that price. We try to get our students to get as close to a full ride scholarship as possible, or exceeding it even in many cases. Mm-hmm. But with something that could potentially be hundreds of thousands of dollars of an investment, it would be even irresponsible to not have that joint effort between parents and students, right? So I just wanted to make that little disclaimer, go on that little side rant about the students that we see after 6 years of doing this college advising and thousands of Best College Aid clients that have joined our program. The number one predictor of success that I've identified is the degree of involvement of the parent. Obviously, the student takes the classes, the student takes the SAT, ACT, students write the essays, but there is a direct relationship between how involved the parent is, how on top of the student they are, as annoying as it can be, because, we were just in high school not too long ago. And I remember, I like to think not too long ago for me.
Like 6 years, or was it more than 6 years for me, 7 years ago. And
So,
I'm still young.
so it might not be as fun to have, your parent on top of you asking you what you're doing, how you're keeping up, but hindsight's 2020, and with the hindsight and with the thousands of cases that we have now, and a big sample size, that is the number one predictor of success, as much or as little as you can see it right now. If you're a student watching this, or if you're a parent watching this, just know that the fact that you're watching this right now and trying to learn a thing or two, following the page, again, asking questions, that is a good indicator of how well off you're going to be. But there should be a joint effort there.
Yes, exactly. It's actually been 8 years for myself. I just thought about that. I always feel like time flies. So this is also a reminder, this realization that I am just having, that high school for me was 8 years ago. Time really does fly. And this is for my parents, maybe who have children who are in freshman year, maybe sophomore year, or even children or students, because I do see a lot of students who are joining us. It's going to go by fast, and don't wait until the last minute to start planning and to start working on all these strategies, or just like the college application journey. Don't think that the only thing is applying and sending out those applications. There's other parts of the process, other things that should start earlier, and knowledge that should be acquired the earlier the better. So definitely don't leave it to the last minute. It's really great that you are here, that you are currently watching us and trying to get informed, trying to get some knowledge. But definitely start as early as possible, because time does fly. Alrighty. 7 years for Francisco. So yeah, I can't believe. Anyway, COVID did take a lot of time. I feel like it took some time from us because we were stuck at home. So that's why I'm like, wait, when did I graduate high school? When did I graduate college? But anyways, moving on from that, those were the 3 tips, the 3 things that we did that helped us throughout high school, and that eventually helped us get full ride scholarships for college. Very important things that we teach more in depth inside of our Best College Aid program, and things that not only helped us, but have helped thousands of our clients inside of our Best College Aid membership. So speaking of Best College Aid, if you are interested in learning more things and having more resources to your disposal, we do have a free training, a free resource where we go over the top secrets to go to college with scholarship. This is a presentation that you, Fran, you curated, you hosted, and he shares a lot of important information. If you guys have not signed up for this, if it's completely free, it's just another resource aside from all these live streams that we do, all the content on social media, a free resource that we have for you to learn more college admissions and scholarship strategies. And yeah, something that we created and we made just for you to stay on top of that process. And at the end, we do include everything that we our members inside of Best College Aid have, all the benefits. And if, in case you are interested in having more in-depth help, a more in-depth guide that can, help you navigate the college admissions and scholarship process, if you are interested, at the end, we do go over that. And we also have a 50% off discount if you decide to watch the free training. We kind of gift you that discount. And also, in case you couldn't tell, the pink, because of Valentine's Day, we do have that 50% off sale because of that as well. So if you're interested, make sure you register for that free training. The link is in our bio if you're watching us on TikTok and Instagram. And if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, you can register for this free training. The link is in this video's description.
Yes, right. So before we go into the Q&A session, I just want to elaborate or explain, clarify a little bit more about what Best College Aid is. Best College Aid Company started 5 years ago. 90% of what we do, 80% of what we do is trying to disseminate, try to inform, try to make informational content like this. Hopefully you find a thing or two. But we cannot operate, we cannot feasibly dedicate our lives to this without, spending our complete time doing this, 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. So we do have a lot of people who want to get more face-to-face time, more of a follow-up, more of their questions answered, more of a full extensive program that encompasses the whole college advising and the whole college completion, getting to college, navigating it, financing, and all that stuff. So for those who are interested in learning more about how they can be helped beyond just these social media content that we put out there, which again, lots of value, very, very, very helpful. So what we did for those students is number one, students and parents, number one, we prepared that free training, which takes beyond what we do in this conversations that we do every week. It takes those elements and it goes a little bit further and explains more of an all-encompassing journey, how to get to college with scholarships. And then the last 15 minutes of that presentation that you'll find the link in my bio is the pitch as to what Best College Aid is, our full pay program for those of you who are interested in learning more even beyond that, right? So that's why we do this. That's how we operate. And then we continue to have these live streams every week. All right. So just wanted to clarify that. And now, Laura, if you want to get us started with the Q&A.
Well, it's our little trivia session. So this is the part where you guys get to answer some questions. Sometimes we answer questions, but now it's time for you to answer some college level trivia, some college admissions trivia, not college level, because that would be different. So college admissions trivia, if you have been following us for a while, you are familiar, maybe you are not. If you get these answers wrong, it's fine because you will learn. If you get them right, good on ya. Alrighty, so why don't we go ahead with the first question. This is just a fill in the blank or just an answer, writing the answer. The first question is, in what grade should the FAFSA be filled out for the first time? In what school year? Not what year. What grade should the student be in to fill out the FAFSA for the first time? It's a complicated question. It's an easy question. Why am I complicating it? In what grade should the student fill out the FAFSA for the first time? I'll give you guys some time to answer the question.
And the FAFSA, again, the free application for federal student aid, one of the main forms that assesses the family's financial makeup so that then different entities, but mainly the federal government and the institutions, can make decisions about how much generosity, how much aid they're going to give the students. All right. That's a context. That's been enough time. Let's see what people are saying.
All right, so we have some people saying 11th grade, 12th grade question mark, and let's see on TikTok, 11th grade. All righty, the answer to this question, when should the FAFSA be filled out for the first time, is 12th grade. 12th grade is when students and parents, because it's a team effort, should be filling out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid for the first time. And I say the first time because it is a form that does have to be renewed every year after that until the student graduates. If the student does the 4 years of college, they have to fill out the FAFSA senior year of high school, freshman year of college, sophomore year of college, and junior year of college if the student is graduating.
You fill it out for the following school year period. So the test is always, are you going to be at school, and by school I mean college, the following year? If the answer is yes, then you fill it out so that they can assess your financial makeup for that school year and offer you aid and awards and scholarships for it. All right. And our members inside Best College Aid, they'll learn how to go ahead and complete it from top to bottom. If there are changes this year, they've been getting a lot of support because of, again, all the changes and the updates that have come along with the FAFSA. So again, if you're interested in learning or getting help through this process, whether you are a 9th grader, a 10th grader, 11th or 12th grader, well, the good thing is our program is a lifetime program and we renew our content every month. So you will be covered. All right. If you're interested in that, just a little side plug, shameless plug. If you want to go on with the next question of the trivia.
All right. Question number 2. So this is a true or false question. You're going to write true or false. And the statement is, only students who have a good GPA, only those students can get scholarship for college. Only students with a good GPA can win scholarship for college. True or false?
And if you might want to remember what I was talking about in point number 2, when I was talking about merit-based awards, think a little bit about the details that I mentioned regarding how you receive or how you're eligible to receive merit-based awards. And then I mentioned another reason why someone would get money for college. All right. So think about those and answer the question.
Alrighty, I see some answers. False, false, false. On TikTok, false. Alrighty, no truths. Are you ready for the answer? Only students with a good GPA can win scholarship for college. That is false. While getting a good GPA and having a good GPA can help the student get merit-based academic scholarships, there are other ways to win scholarships. If the student has an extracurricular that they practice, they could get an athletic scholarship. Obviously, this doesn't mean that students, that are failing are gonna get a athletic scholarship. There are requirements to that and certain GPAs that students should have, but a GPA is not the only thing that's considered. Need-based scholarships, federal scholarships that are only based on need, don't consider the GPA, the student's GPA. And a lot of schools do, not that they don't care about grades, because they do, but they also consider other factors of the student's application. That's why sometimes it's really important to have a strong application and be a well-rounded student and practice extracurriculars, have leadership positions, etc.
Volunteering, theater, other than sports that Laura already mentioned, level of classes that you took, success on college level exams or advanced level exams if you took them, SAT, ACT, all those are alternatives. I wouldn't say substitutes, but definitely supplements to the merit-based awards that you could get, right? So just keep that in mind.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead. This is the final question of our trivia segment. And it's going to be multiple choice. You can either choose just one answer, or it could also be more than one. So let's see. It's a little curveball there. Let's see your knowledge. Alrighty, so what type of financial aid does not have to be paid back? What type of financial aid does not have to be paid back? A, scholarships. B, federal student loans. C, private student loans. And D, grants. Which type of financial aid and scholarships don't have to be paid back? Do not. Scholarships, federal loans, private loans, or grants. Which of these do not have to be paid back? All right. Alrighty, let's see. We are starting to get some answers. DMV says grants. We have some people saying on TikTok scholarships. Loans you do have to pay back. Alrighty, we're about to hear. Remember, you don't know, it's not only one or it doesn't have to be only one answer. Scholarships, federal loans, private loans, and grants. Let's see, we'll get a couple of questions. Julie says A and D. Lisma says scholarships. Sohali says A, which is scholarships. Alrighty. Why don't we go ahead and share the answer, Francisco? Which type of financial aid does not have to be paid back?
Yes, and that would be both scholarships and grants. You can think of them as free money. What we teach our students inside Best College Aid or clients learn that basically there are 3 different categories for financing vehicles for college. There is free money that you don't have to be paid, but that doesn't have to be paid back, grant scholarships. There is earned money that you can earn as you go through college. Work studies, for example, a type of money that you earn as you work through college. And then there is borrowed money that has to be returned, and that is your type of loan. So within loans, there are different categories that, there are healthier loans, unhealthier loans, predatory loans, and you want to obviously take the ones that have the best policies, the best components, the best interest and in terms of payback and forgiveness. So we go in depth about that inside our Best College Aid program. But as far as today's trivia, everyone seemed to do really, really, really well. So kudos to you. And if you didn't know some of the questions and you want to learn more, or if you knew some of the questions but you want to sort of elevate your level of consciousness, learn a thing or two about the process top to bottom, we do have a very dense, again, it's significantly more dense than what we covered here today in the presentation. That is a presentation on the top strategies to get accepted to college with scholarships. You can access that by going to the link in our profile's bio. and you just register for the presentation. You get immediate access to it. You watch it. It's quite extensive, but I very, very much recommend it. Even though it's dense, if you bring a notepad and you record and write your notes, you should be good to go. Talk about admissions, talk about scholarships, talk about how to elevate odds of acceptance, how to become more competitive in the eyes of the regional admissions officers that will be seeing your application, and a bunch of more things. So again, that presentation is in the link in my bio if you want to register for it. And then if after that you are interested in getting even more support, more resources, more of a personalized experience, then you might be interested in learning about our College Aid, Best College Aid program. That is on the last 20 minutes of the presentation. And then we also extend as a thank you for joining this live stream, for joining that free presentation and staying all the way till the end. We offer a 50% off on our advising services for those of you who are interested in that.
Yes, and I do see some questions in the chat regarding differences between scholarships and grants. We do answer that and we do speak about that and some other questions that I saw in the chat in that free training. So definitely go check it out. Again, it's a free resource that we have just for you and we created just for you guys. So check it out, register. The link is in our bio. It's also in this video's description if you are watching us on YouTube and Facebook. And yeah, it's something that we made with a lot of love and effort for you guys to take advantage of. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live show. We had fun. I love doing the trivia. I love when you guys are participating and being engaged in the chat. So definitely the questions will get harder. Don't think that they're going to be this easy. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you come back for another live show. I hope you watch that free training. Definitely do it. And if you do join Best College Aid, we will be there with you every step of the way. We'll be helping you out. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Anything else you want to add, Fran?
Yes, we'll be live here next week on Monday as well. But also, we're going to have a special show on Wednesday on Facebook and YouTube. All right, so we'll see you there.
All right, have a great one.
Take care.